When it comes to the playoffs, everything means a little bit more. Every play, every face-off, every pass, every shot. But when you add a rivalry aspect to the playoffs, it gets a whole lot more personal. Holy Name looking to sweep Padua. The Bruins looking for revenge for not only this year, but also a few years ago as they were eliminated from the playoffs in double overtime on this field. It's the Green Wave and the Bruins up next on SmeeSports.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to say first, all glory to God. Without him, I am nothing.
Power the shove, Neighbor Nation! We will see you on Saturday afternoon! Riley Meister gets the point!
Back into left field! Say goodnight to that baseball!
And there's another one! It's back to back Jacks for KSU Tuscarawas! Needs a point, and it's alive! Hansen pushes it over! Unbelievable! We play on! It's blocked! We're tied! We're tied! Unbelievable!
It's the Parma Holy War once again on the SmeeSports YouTube channel as we are live at Searcy Field for what looks to be a great game between the 16-1 Green Wave and the 6-11 Padua Franciscan Bruins. Hello, everybody from Searcy Field. He's Cam Ragazzo. I am Nathan Smee on the call for you live on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. This is what you love to see. A round one rivalry matchup in the playoffs, a matchup that we actually saw 2 years ago, or I believe 3 years ago, on this very field, a 5-4 win for Holy Name in double overtime. Is that what we expect to see today, or is this one going to be a little bit easier to decide in regulation?
I mean, you really never know, especially because of the rivalry aspect here. The last 2 days on the baseball field, we saw the series split between the two, and both really hard-fought games. Holy Name winning the first one, as we saw, and then Padua coming back in the Padua looking to beat Holy Name and kind of even the season series here, but also kick Holy Name out of the playoffs. Any day you can kick your rivals out of the playoffs is a great day.
And I think looking at the social media outburst after these wins with the Padua K pictures, the Bruins have a lot more to play for tonight than they did in the past week as we look at this game, a 9-6 win for Holy Name at Padua last week. Then, as you said, we did have the victory on Monday at Padua. The dynamic of this rivalry changes once again as we hit the playoffs, but the same bragging rights and the same things are on the line.
Yeah, I'm expecting to probably see a good hard-fought matchup. Definitely playing with some passion these players are going to be tonight, especially like we said. We're going to harp on it all day long. I mean, rivalry game, you're friends with them off of the field, but right now when you step onto the field and once this game begins, you are complete enemies.
Definitely, and that is going to be the big thing to look at, especially with Holy Name. They have a lot of passion. They are one of the most passionate teams in the OHSAA when it comes to lacrosse. They're a bunch that when they have a chance to do damage, oh boy, do they do some damage. They are one of the most potent teams in that regard, as we will try and flip around to capture the Green Wave coming on out to the field. Whenever they are ready to play, you can tell by just hearing the noise from the locker room. And Cam, all afternoon since we got here at 4 p.m. to now, they have been loud and rowdy.
They have been very, very loud, especially because they're behind us as they come onto the field now and try and really make their presence known.
And you can see them on your screen taking the field for the first time in 2 years, having a home playoff game to work with. The last time that Holy Name hosted a team, it was a rainy Saturday afternoon in 2023. A heartbreaker 6-5 at the hands of Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. We talked about that last night. As time expired, freshman Nick Gage had the winner. Now he holds the record for most goals in a single season in CVCA lacrosse history with 70. That was just the start to a great career. But Holy Name, that loss is fresh in their mind. So many seniors, a few of which are here today, ended their careers on this field because of that play. They want to see a Holy Name victory. And as for Padua, you could just feel the spirit yesterday. The way that they came out firing on all cylinders. This school wants a win over their rivals. And historically in the playoffs, outside of that one win for Holy Name, Padua has dominated the Parma Holy War in the extra season.
I mean, absolutely. And coming off, like we said, coming off the game yesterday, they looked really, really good on all facets of their game, and they're probably just trying to go cross sport and bring it over here to the lacrosse field, trying to avenge their loss earlier in the season, especially at their home turf. They want to do the same here to Holy Name.
A good crowd on hand tonight, as expected. The bleachers off to our left pretty much full. How do you expect to see the fans get involved in this game in a positive way?
I expect a lot of cheering for both sides, as kind of we can see the stands closer to us, but as well as the Padua stands is also pretty much full. I mean, a lot of good supporters just coming out here to support their kids or family or friends, and it's just really good to see that.
And it looks like on the far side, Mr. Anka will not be doing the scoreboard tonight in-house. It appears he'll be watching this one from afar, as we talked about the last time, and we've talked about this with Mr. Anko so many times. With him being the official scorer, he had to make the call that the shot was off in time and, in turn, ended his son's lacrosse career. It was the right call, but I'm sure a very difficult one to make. And even talking to him last week, this battle was emotional enough. You add the playoff layer to it that if Holy Name loses, arguably their best ever player plays his final game in the green and white tonight. Emotions are at an all-time high.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him before, and he said he kind of wants to draw the line between being a dad and being and helping out with like the scoreboard and all that. But tonight looks like he's just gonna be able to be a dad and really cheer on his son.
And the cheering is going to be needed. The winner takes on Walsh Jesuit in Cuyahoga Falls on Friday. That will be an interesting battle, as I believe we mentioned it yesterday. It's the Bermuda Triangle of Padua, Holy Name, or CBCA somehow in some way ends up at Walsh for a round 2 playoff game.
Yeah, I don't know how it always ends up that way, but it always seems to end up that way. And probably that's part because of how divisions and regions are put together, but that is usually how it goes.
For those just watching these teams for the first time this year, and for those who just looked at the records, 16-1 in comparison to 6-11, obviously you put Holy Name as a strong favorite in a game like this. But you look at the Max Preps ranking. Holy Name only 70th in the state, Padua 107. In this region, Holy Name's the 11th seed, Padua's the 15th. It is a lot closer the more you look at this battle than meets the eye initially.
I mean, absolutely. Like you just said, you would think that Holy Name is favored, especially on their home turf, but still a rivalry game, and I think it's going to be anyone's game today.
Face-off is in play. Whistle blows, and we are underway at Searcy Field. Padua will control the opening face-off. That will be a big component of tonight's ball game. Whichever team can win the face-off, with the conditions being like this, as good as they are right now, I feel like that is going to tell us a lot about who wins this game. Last time out, it was Padua winning in that category, but the Green Wave just found new and creative ways to get the ball back and new and creative ways to strike as they took down Padua 9-6.
Yeah, they really got to play good crease defense and not let anyone kind of control the crease and keep an open lane for Peter.
Kenny off to the left side. Trey Gasparo taking his first touches of the game. 50 goals and 21 assists this year. 71 total points for the sophomore. He has been on a tear throughout his entire time in the Padua Bruin Brown. Out left, it's Fitro, who, in talking to a lot of Bruin faithful, believe he is set for a big game tonight. He will win the ball back. He has some space to work with. Fitro plays it central, just wide of Kenny, and Tamianco has it for the defensive clear.
We know he can fly.
And here he comes to set the tempo offensively. Speaking of tempo, it's Rodriguez central, played just outside the crease, but picked up by Jackson Hicks.
Good, smart play there by the goalie to come out and get it before any damage could be done.
Jackson has 170 saves this year, and earlier on in the campaign, he set the record for most saves in a single game in Padua lacrosse history. Both teams one defensive stop apiece. Here come the Bruins once more. Fitro near side, working against Ritz. He gets hit in the head. Nothing is called. Kicked right back to Rose, and that will end Padua's attack. On your screen, you see Fitro pleading his case, and based on the way that the stick came down, almost surprising to not see a call.
I thought we were going to see a call.
Taking it up the field for the Green Wave, it is Casey Eastep, the future Teal Tomcats. Unable to play it forward, though. A wayward pass, but on the far side, it is Noah Wallace picking it up. Loose ball finally out of play. It is possession Padua.
Very, very kind of turnover heavy here to start.
But a very good start for both sides. You see pressure, you see high-paced, high-flying offense. That's what you want to see in a game like this. First big chance of the game is stopped by Peter Rose.
And we know how good he is, and he's going to have to have a great game again.
And you said it perfectly. He is going to need to be perfect tonight or the next closest thing to it for the Green Wave. Rodriguez circling well outside the crease. We didn't really see him get involved until the second quarter. Last time against the Bruins, it was Tommy Anko running the show throughout the first quarter and a half.
Another almost turnover. Nice ground ball.
And it is a yard sale. Butler loses his stick, but the midi will pick it back up. Good resilience by Butler. Obviously a tough spot for him to be in, getting the yard sale early, but he will look to help the offense get set up after picking up the pace. Played down low, Bird misses wide left of Hicks. A good shot. I like that move from Bird, but just unable to get set.
Yeah, just a good opportunity. They're going to stay on offense here.
Hadji from the X position will take it back from behind the goal into the field of play. A couple of good spins. It's Brant Boomsma with the defense. Rodriguez down low. Noah Wallace, the freshman. I believe a few of his relatives, especially Jeremy Wallace, is in attendance today. Jeremy, a former Holy Name lacrosse player. 8:30 on the clock and quarter number one. No scoring quite yet. Both sides with a few good chances, but nothing close enough to find the back of the net or even really bring about a scare. Rodriguez looking for a way in. And on top of that, we really haven't seen too many fouls or foul-worthy plays. No fouls, maybe one foul-worthy.
That's what I was going to say.
Anko spinning back towards the goal. Something else to note, no shot clock in high school. The Namer is doing a nice job drilling down the clock. Hadji goes down low. It dings off the post. That is the first real challenging shot of the ball game.
They're able to get it back, though. I mean, a good shot, and just like you said, off that left post and bounces really high up, but able to retain possession.
It is Anko taking it for the Green Wave. Now Rodriguez. Xavier going coast to coast, side to side, trying to find a way in. Plays it down low, intended for Hadji, but it will roll on back. Possession Padua.
Good defensive hold there. Kind of a long possession there on defense, and they need
back at the 30. 6:30 remaining in quarter number one. Still no goals on the board. It is Fitro for the Bruins. Dished back top to Adams. Padua, just like Holy Name, taking their time, circling well outside the crease, looking for a breakthrough.
Yeah, they're trying to set up a nice play here.
Gasparo tries setting it up himself, but he is turned away. A good stop by the middies, tracking back on defense. Fitro lining up for a shot, fakes, swims down low, shoots, and it's wide. It takes a last-second ricochet. Possession remains with Padua.
That was a good opportunity there from Padua.
And they want more. They want another chance to strike. A good move down low. The shot from Kenny hits the back of the net. Padua strikes first in the playoffs.
Wow, I mean, just two back-to-back really good shots and good looks on goal, and they're able to get it there.
And we don't have the replay buffer on. For some reason, we're showing a different replay. Don't know why that is happening, but either way, just a great job overall. Holy Name just tried to play defense, unable to do so. Apologize for that technical error, but either way, 1-0 Padua, your score. And we are back underway. The control goes to Anko. Here he comes running down the field, and Holy Name has equalized! What a response by Tommy Anko!
Well, I mean, if you're going to get a response and you get it that quick, you got to feel good if you're Tommy Anko. I mean, wins the draw on the face-off and then just takes it right down there for the goal.
That's exactly what you wanted to see from Anko. I mean, perfect execution, and we've seen the Green Wave do that a number of times this year, just bringing full force up the field, and in the end, they're able to strike 1-1. And here comes the face-off won by the Bruins. Can their offense get rolling again after it looked like they had a comfortable start? No goals in the first 6 minutes, but we have 2 in the next minute to follow. But now can Padua respond with a goal of their own? Gasparo dishing it behind the goal in the X position. Faked, still with Johnson. Loose ball. Ramsey back from LSM trying to scoop it up on the elongated ground ball. Still on the turf, fighting for a way to go either way. And finally, Gasparo getting some separation, picks it up. Good resilience by the Bruins. They are not done yet. 4:30 on the clock in Q1. Can they take the lead right back? That's the question. Adams plays it behind. Now it is with Post. Post, loose ball. Fitro right in front of us will scoop it up for the Bruins, or at least try to. Great defense played right in front of us by Blake Feliciano. But either way, it will stay with the Padua Bruins.
Yeah, they need a good offensive possession here to get the lead back.
And there is the goal they wanted back. Who else but Trey Gasparo?
Yeah, I mean, just did it all himself right there. Kind of a little stutter step left, right, and then we watch it back on the replay.
And you see the work of Fitro to get out of that hit. That was really good work from him. That's exactly what he needed to do. And you just see that final move down low. Trey Gasparo is on the board for Padua. Make it 2-1. So now the question is, how does Holy Name respond? Last time, it was an immediate goal of their own. But as Padua wins the faceoff, that will not be the case. Padua fighting with all of their might. This is the start they wanted. An electrifying atmosphere and just an electric time to play spoiler to the Green Wave. But keep in mind, we look back to last week, Padua struck first in that game as well, ended up losing by 3. So plenty of time for the Green Wave to make a comeback. Turner wide to Gasparo. 3:30 remaining in the opening frame. Padua up by 1. A low-scoring affair thus far. Kenny, he opened the scoring. Fitro trying to get it by. Ritz the hit. Still with Fitro. He will finally play it back behind. Post, wide wing. Good movement by the Bruins. Can they strike again? Rose, he will tip it. Still a loose ball, and Peter finally picks it up behind his crease, and it is time to juke out the defense. A good amount of pressure by Post. Finally flung back to Ritz. Loose ball right in front of the goal, and Gasparo strikes for the Bruins. Make it 3-1 Padua.
Wow, I mean, that was just kind of a lapse there on the defense, unable to pick it up, and then Gasparo just says, I will take that, and easy goal for him.
Definition of right place, right time. We've seen that goal happen. I believe we saw that exact goal happen last year in this game here. Obviously not being a playoff game, a lot less on the line, but this time around 3-1 Padua. This is the dream start if you are a Bruin fan. Holy Name needs a response on this face-off, and they need a quick strike.
Yeah, they're already down 3-1 to face-offs.
And on top of that, 3-1 the score in favor of Padua. Make it 4-1 on face-offs. Can Padua also find the goal? They have done so very well so far. There's our first flag of the day, and it will fly against the Green Wave. Trey Gasparo on the far side. He is fired up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, just bad penalty there, especially down 3-1 already. You really need to work on winning those face-offs.
And we're looking for a signal on what was called. Here's a trip, so that will be the decision. Holy Name down a man, and it will be a 1-minute penalty. I assume releasable, so if Padua scores, we're back to even. But it will be a 3-goal lead for Padua Franciscan.
They're looking to make it 4 here.
And they definitely have the pieces in place to do so. Gasparo cherry-picking behind the goal, looking for somebody to find. Plays it back. It's Fitro. Thinks about shooting, cuts right. He is defended well by Butler. Fitro finally retreating, gives it away to Kenny. Now Gasparo on the end around, goes and scores! It's a first quarter hat trick for Trey Gasparo.
Wow, I mean, he has just been completely dominant over there on that left side. I mean, nothing really going on that right side, but he's able to lure the defense. Fitro is when he gets the ball and kind of lures the defense out, and then Trey Gasparo cuts in from the backside and able to get those goals.
And as we expected, Cam, it is a releasable penalty, but Padua will take that any day of the week. 4-1 the score.
And we're still not even done with the first quarter. Still 2 minutes and 15 seconds here.
Well, Holy Name is going to have to make a lot of adjustments at the end of this frame, especially at halftime too, if things don't get better. Their offense needs to strike, and from the field of play, they really haven't scored. Obviously, they've scored one, but it just was simply Tomianko by himself. And he will try and do it again here, but he will lose the face-off control. A good scoop in the defensive area for Conway. The Bruins suffocating the Green Wave in quarter number 1. Three unanswered from Gasparo alone. Final 2 minutes of the opening frame. What can Padua find? They found enough for sure, but they definitely want a little bit more of a cushion. It's Fitcher on the near side at the 20. Back top for Sean Kenny. Padua in no hurry to shoot, and you really cannot blame them. Played down low, post unable to pick it up. It is out of play, and the Namers find a defensive stop, one of many that they will need.
And they need a good clear here to try and set up their offense.
For those just tuning in, 4-1 the score. Anko has the lone goal for Holy Name. Gasparo has 3, and Kenny has 1. Loose ground ball right in front of the Namer goal. Peter Rose will pick it up, and finally he is able to clear the defensive lines, but that was almost a second gifted goal.
Almost very, very close. Looks like Xavier's trying to keep it in play down there.
And he goes out. That should be possession Padua, and their bench gets even more fired up.
As they should be. A good defense there on the clear.
This is the dream start. We've said it a couple of times for Padua, but it truly is. Heading in, the underdog on enemy soil. This is not what we expected from this game. Butler picks up the ground ball. That will help the Namers stay in it. Here comes their offense. Butler, Bird on the left, will play it down low. Rodriguez trying to get close to the crease. Plays it back for Butler. Aiden Butler will shoot, and he will score! The Jackrabbit, not just a defensive piece, he can also score!
Yeah, I mean, just a really good play. Lures 2 defenders over to Rodriguez as he's getting the ball, and then right back up to the top of the crease. Butler, makes a move left, makes a move right, and shoots and right into that left corner of the goal as we see the goalie almost gets there, but unable to do so.
A good try from Jackson Hicks. He has been tremendous in this game, as expected. Pretty much called upon once and did more than enough to earn his keep. But the question is, what can Holy Name do now? They have a little bit of momentum and 33 seconds to work with in this opening quarter. Padua will win the faceoff. They want the goal right back when their offense has time to set up, which they do right now, 20 seconds to be exact. They can definitely make something happen, and they score. Well, Cam, I would say we had technical difficulties, but really, apparently, our equipment, which for the most part was cool to the touch, overheated.
Overheated with the sun being blocked by clouds, but luckily able to get it back, and hopefully should, barring any more technical difficulties, be good for the rest of the game. They win the faceoff there, and Rodriguez looking for it, but scooped up by the goalie.
Jackson Hicks, another good save to open up the second quarter. Holy Name down 4-2 to Padua Franciscan. Once again, we do apologize for the tech issues we had. Hopefully they have been resolved, and at least have been for the time being. Whistles will blow, and it looks like we do have a timeout called.
I believe so. Very, very early on timeout. 18 seconds into the second quarter.
And that's what we saw last week. Quick timeouts, proactive timeouts. Both sides need to play their best quarter here, as Holy Name made it a lot closer. 3-2 doesn't seem like a lot, but in a game like this, for sure it is.
Yeah, and I mean, a good sign was them winning another faceoff, but unable to get anything really going. They tried to go the quick pace on offense, but easily scooped up by the goalie.
As well, for those just tuning in, Gasparo has a hat trick. Kenny has one. For Holy Name, it is Tommy Yanko and Aiden Butler, the goal scorers. It's very surprised to see Butler as one of them.
Yeah, and we really haven't seen a lot from Rodriguez as well. He's gotten the ball a couple of times, but really his main contribution was drawing two defenders when he got the ball back in the first quarter, and really allowed the space for Aiden Butler to work and eventually score.
Looking at the rest of our Friday, both 5 p.m. starts. Senior night is Friday as Holy Name takes on EC in baseball. Tomorrow it is the tough one against Chardon. On Saturday, no longer having a broadcast, as I will be down in Alliance all 3 days. Just day one, I will have to cut it short, as I will be calling the majority, if not every single game that I possibly can, as a part of Mount Union's region in the NCAA Division III baseball tournament. Looking forward to that, as Rowan, Grove City, and Catholic come in to do battle with the Purple Raiders. Padua back on offense after the timeout. You have to wonder what their approach is going to be. Right now, they control this up by 2, and they will score. That's the approach. Get one on the board immediately.
Yeah, I mean, just another goal there. It looked like from Trey Gasparo. I kind of looked away for a second. I think we both did, and then all of a sudden the ball was in the back of the net.
It was just perfectly executed all the way around by the Green Wave. Or not, excuse me, by the Bruins. The Green Wave just trying to find an avenue back in and just unable to find it there. They needed a defensive stop, and they still do need one. Down by 3 early on. This is where some of those gritty wins really need to have paid dividends outside of just the win. They need to kind of be a guide as to how to approach the rest of this game, especially this half.
Looks like we're going to get a procedural call there, and it's going to be Bruins ball.
All Padua so far in this one. Kind of what we expected out of the gate, but I think at this point we expected the Namers to be pretty much level, or at least, at worst, down by 1.
Yeah, but Padua still looking very dangerous, especially Trey Gasparo down there. But looks like Holy Name,
Johnson had the ball. Holy Name running for their lives, and now finally we have a whistle blown. It is a timeout called by the Green Wave. In the first 50 seconds of quarter number 2, we have had 2 timeouts called.
I would say that's probably a smart timeout, though, because looked like he was running for his life down there. And, I mean, if you're Holy Name, you need to be able to get a nice clear over and try and slowly claw back into this game. You need the clear is the most important, to at least not give up the open goal like ready here early. And Gasparo has just been a machine on the other side.
And that is what you expect to see from him. Entered play tonight, averaging 2.9 goals per game. He's over 3 now. Averaging a hat trick at this level is really impressive work. He has been great the past 2 years, and he will continue to be the star heading into his junior and senior years.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's still super young. We obviously can see the talent that he has on this field, and probably going to be a terrorizing Holy Name defense for the rest of this game, and terrorizing other defenses for 2 years at least, and possibly onto the collegiate level.
And looking at the Namer defense once again, if Holy Name is done tonight, one of the best ever careers across any sport comes to a close. Peter Rose, the all-time save leader in OHSAA play. Obviously, there were some club teams in there last year, including Ridgeville, who unfortunately had to fold their program. But even if you don't include those games, he has the record by almost 200 saves, which is just insane work from Peter Rose. A lot of that is because of the defense, but Tommy Anko putting on the moves. It's an excellent spin cycle. A flag will fly. It is a free play for the Namers.
Yeah, I mean, just a great clear there, but now they need to set up their offense.
Anko getting close, plays it down low. It is Hedgie. He will take it back to his X position and set up a play. Anko taking it back, cutting left. He will shoot, and it goes wide of Hicks. The whistle blows, and now we address the flag. It is on Gasparo.
I think it was offside.
Either way, that will send him to the penalty area.
That's exactly where you want him to be if you're Holy Name.
Even if Padua is able to get their defensive stop, he then can't lead a counterattack. He has 4 of their 5 goals, and that is really where the offense is living and dying. But still, Kenny, a total of 10 goals this year. 3 or 30% of them are against Holy Name. And in the last 2 quarters, he's played against them. A very interesting statistic to look at. Rodriguez dishes it out left. Farrell down low. Anko central. It is Hedgie. Hedgie will take it behind the goal, and the offense will take a second to reset. Anko cutting in. A great chance to score, but Hicks denies.
Blocked it with his body there and able to scoop it up. Looking for a nice clear here as he launches it down the field.
Jackson Hicks, you could tell he plays hockey just by the way he plays goalie. He isn't Padua's goalie for hockey, but he sure is one heck of one on the lacrosse field. Margosian, one of the D-poles, taking it up the field. Wallace central, bobbled by Estep. He will go back and scoop it up. A good recovery by Casey, but the job not done yet. It is Hedgie behind the goal for the green and white. 9:30 remaining in the first half. Holy Name trailing 5-2.
And Gasparo's out of the box.
Estep cutting, taking it behind the goal. As you said, Padua back even in regard to personnel with the Green Wave. Loose ball on the attempted pass, scooped up by Hedgie. The Namers trying to find new and exciting ways to get close to the crease. So far, Padua's defense right there has been great. The long shot sails well over, out of play, and it will stay with the Namers.
Yeah, I mean, a long offensive possession here. You're kind of wearing down the defense. You really need a goal here.
You definitely need something. Even if it's not a goal, putting yourself a man up again, creating more opportunities, but you need a spark. Boomsma, a good tip, but it will stay with the Namers. This is kind of a revenge game for Brant Boomsma, his older brother, one of the best players to play for this program years ago. Anko denied just outside the crease. Once again, there is that great crease defense. It's Rodriguez picking it up in transition, and he will dish it back to Anko. The Namers resetting, looking for a way to get creative. Flags fly. As I said, Cam, you don't necessarily need a goal. You just need something. Putting somebody else in the box, that is huge. Anko still trying to fight through. He is hit to the ground. Arco picks it up, and finally we will address the flag. Trying to see what the official decision is on that far side. 8:20 remaining in the first half. 5-2 the score. Padua on top. And as expected, it is Arco in the box for the Bruins. Holy Name 0 for 1 today with a man up. They need to change that here and make it 1 for 2.
Yeah, they got to be able to use the space well and create gaps in a good lane for someone to score.
Estep down low, it's Noah Wallace. He gets hit in the face. It's a second flag. The Namers doing a great job. Rodriguez unable to get it cleanly. He will attack now, slashes it down, but saved by Hicks. Still with the Namers. Rodriguez tries again and scores! X marks the spot for the green and white.
Yeah, finally, after that second shot, able to get it in there. They finally capitalize on their second man up. Able to get it done. It looks like they're going to wave the second flag because of the goal.
Just an excellent job all the way around by the Namers. They worked so hard to get that opportunity, and finally they get it done.
Yeah, and they need to keep going right here. Anko's got to win another faceoff and try and keep this train moving.
5-3 now the score. Holy Name, 3 unique goal scorers. Rodriguez, Butler, and Anko.
The exact opposite for Padua.
For Padua, 4 for Gasparo and 1 for Kenny. It will be a procedural issue, and once again, Padua will take it. That has been the main issue for Holy Name in regard to face-offs today. They have just been dinged too many times with procedural issues. And here come the Bruins trying to play the tempo up a little bit. Still up by 2, trying to make it 3, and they can! It is Fitro on the far side. 6-3 your score, and that is number 11 on the score sheet for the first time today.
Good, strong pass there, and then just able to beat the goalie. Usually we don't see that happening a lot, but still able to beat Peter.
But Rose so far allowing 6 goals. Padua doubling Holy Name's output. If the Bruins can continue to keep their distance, this could be a very big win for them. Holy Name only 1 loss this year. It did come on this field, a 10-7 loss against CVCA. The faceoff goes to Padua, but the whistle will blow, and finally an illegal procedure goes against Padua.
They need to get the goal back that they just gave up.
As of right now, Holy Name is trying to just simply play catch-up. They cannot play like this the entire game. They are going to have to find a breakthrough, put a couple of goals on the board in quick order. If not, Padua is going to run away with this game, even if the scoreboard doesn't say they do. Down low to Bird. Bird shoots it, and it is in! A great response from Jeffrey Bird!
Yeah, kind of just bullies his way in the crease, takes pretty much sole possession and able to get enough room for a shot there.
A very, very good job by Bird. Once again, just simply gets it done. And you will see it back here, just perfectly executed. That's Rodriguez's, but either way, you see plays like that. That's what you want to see from the Green Whites. They have been able to get creative in that department all day, and they are going to need to stay there if they want to win this game. Well, Cam, the question is 6-4. Is Padua the next one to score, or can Holy Name get it again?
All depends on who wins this faceoff. Looks like the 2 faceoff men are going to get a little talking to by the referee to try and, it's already 3 illegal procedures, 2 on Holy Name and 1 on Padua.
And usually an illegal procedure leads to a goal. At least that's what we've seen today. Loose ball. Finally, it goes to Anko, spinning out of a hit. Here he comes. Tommy shoots. It's over the bar. A great attempt, but time will be called. A Padua Bruin is down at midfield, so we will step aside. 6:36 your score. Holy Name down 6-4 to Padua. The injured Bruin, Braden Miller, able to get off of the field with the help of the medical staff and as well Coach Pinkar. He is up and walking, but it just kind of looked like a tough hit as Anko spun out of a plethora of hits as well.
I think he might have even ran into his own teammate there.
Holy Name down by 2, 6:30 on the clock in the first half. They did score the last goal in this game. Can they find the next? Butler going down low to make it 2. Unable to do so. Scooped up by Hedgie. It still is with the green and white. The shot from Estep, it goes wide. And possession remains with the Namers.
That was an excellent chance there from Butler. Almost gets it to go, but unable to.
Dangerously close to making it a 1-goal game. It is Rodriguez back at the 30. Already 1 goal in this game. No repeat scores. Rodriguez, he will lose it, playing it forward, picks it up in stride. He shoots, tipped away by Hicks. Still a ground ball, batted around, and finally Hicks will bring it back to himself in the crease. Padua playing with fire a little bit. Here comes the offense. Gasparo ready to set it up. The question is, how does Padua approach this? How aggressive do you get right now?
I think they try and just score as quickly as possible. They're trying to get as many goals as they can.
You want to keep that cushion established. Good pass down low, blocked by Rose. He has another tremendous save to add to his already enormous collection. He has been elite throughout his entire time in between the posts for the green and white. He does not want that to stop tonight.
They're just going back and forth there.
Rose bounce pass forward. It is a loose ball picked up by Holy Name in the end. It's a good recovery by J.J. Burrell. And here come the Namers on offense. Bird to the wing. It's Hedgie now going behind the goal. Phoenix looking for a pass. Finds it. It's Anko right into the helmet of Hicks. That's one way to use your head. We will watch that one back, Cam, but that went right into the head. And it looks like once again the replay actually won't save even though the buffer is on. So either way, a very obscure sequence. And here come the Bruins. Flags fly, shot down low, tipped away by Rose. And finally we have a whistle. 4:27 on the clock. And I believe Padua will be a man up.
I believe so.
Trying to see exactly who it was who is going to the box. And it appears to be Jeff Bird. This is a good spot for Padua to strike. You're a man up. You need to find that final pass. That has been the thing evading them today. That one pass that puts a player in a spot that Peter Rose, even if he becomes Superman himself, can't save it. But the Bruins, a very potent offense just outside the crease today, looks to replicate that magic here. It's Kenny. Far side, a good chance for Fitcho, who already has one today. Kenny to the left, good movement by the Bruins. The shot from Gasparo goes just wide.
Still going to retain on offense here, though, but you got to watch out for Gasparo. As soon as he gets the ball, you kind of see Holy Name's defenders crash on top of him.
He has been everywhere today, just too high of a pass. Gasparo tries to pick it up, still a loose ball in line with the goal. And it just becomes a four-man pileup. Ball still loose before finally it is hit to Peter Rose. But immediately goes back to the Bruins. It's a good save by Peter, and here comes Holy Name.
He's got a full head of steam running downhill here.
Butler, Central, Rodriguez up high. Hedgie beats Hicks, puts it in! A beautiful swim move by Phoenix Hedgie, and the Namers are back within one.
Wow, what a goal there. Replay isn't working, so we won't be able to watch that one back. But, I mean, Butler just coming down with a head of steam, passes it off to Rodriguez, makes a nice high pass to Phoenix, able to get it just barely, and then fakes at the goalie, almost goes low, and then dunks it over him, goes high, and just rolls in to the back of the net.
Well, this is what we expected, Cam. A good back and forth game. And finally, the Namers are back within one. We're going to see if we have the replay now, and
I think that's the wrong replay.
Believe so. But 3:30 remaining in the first half. Holy Name down by 1. A good chance to tie here as Anko wins the faceoff. Rodriguez far side, and the Namers will set up their offense.
Good smart play. After you score, kind of got to take it back. You're looking to get back in this one. This is a great opportunity. You got to set up your offense here, though.
It's Hedgie behind the goal for the green and whites. Back to Farrell. 3 minutes on the clock in this first half. Pat plays it central. A shot from E-step. Sails wide left of the goalkeeper. Wide right on our angle.
Still going to retain with Holy Name here, though.
Holy Name bringing a little bit more purpose to their attack. Hedgie just trying to get close. Instead plays it back out. Farrell now top. E-step left. Anko. Tommy cutting left. A good amount of movement. Dishes. The shot goes in, and we are tied! What a strike!
Wow, I mean, they just came storming back. 3 unanswered now for Holy Name, and it's really been winning those faceoffs and not allow Padua to really get a good attempt off on the goal. We saw a couple, but Rose was really able to just kind of sweep those up pretty cleanly, and so far, here in the second, it is all Holy Name after a first quarter was pretty much all Padua.
That is a big way to tie up this game for the Namers. They needed to play just like that. Something that says we're still here, and something that says no matter what you do, we are going to find a way back into this game.
Another procedural call on Holy Name. Back on offense with a chance to lead here.
Rodriguez became the first repeat scorer of the game for Holy Name. 5 goal scorers. Rodriguez, the only one with more than one. 2:20 left to go in the first half. We are tied at 6. Holy Name looking to take their first lead. The shot from Hedgie denied. Still loose just outside the crease. And Jackson Hicks finally picks it up.
I think that might have just went off of Hicks, and then he kind of couldn't find where it went. Padua looks to clear here.
Arco trying to evade Wallace, but it should be a timeout called by Coach Apidkar, and that is the case. Holy Name out of nowhere responds with 3 goals unanswered. 2:01 remaining in the first half, and we are tied up at 6. .201 remaining in the first half at Searcy Field. Honors even. 6 all your score. Cam, your thoughts on the ending of the second quarter? Right now, this game is screaming a Holy Name win, but Padua is one big play away from reversing it back into their favor.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how good Padua's offense was, especially in that first quarter with Trey Gasparo getting all those goals. They're probably going to have to play through him this entire game, and couple of mistakes early by Holy Name's defense has really let Padua get out to an early lead, but their offense has kind of come alive here in the second. And
Gasparo will shoot. It is wide. Rose may have tipped it, and he will do more than see it out of play.
He was trying to get it back for his offense, but unable to do so.
We did the Superman comparison, and I think he took it a little bit too much to heart. Kenny plays it top for the Bruins. 1:37 on the clock. This is a good chime for Padua to still show they have fight. Fitro picks it up, still with the Bruins. Can Padua find a way to take back their lead before half? Central, it's Kenny. Dishes it right, a good idea. Gets it back on the pass from Adams, bobbled, picked up by the Namers. It's Cam Ramsey back from LSM. He will run it up, and we will have a timeout called. 1:11 on the clock, still 6-6 your score.
Good, nice defensive stop there from the Green Wave. Cam Ramsey able to pick up the ground ball and almost brings it across, but timeout called by Holy Name. Probably a good timeout, kind of got to get a little breath back into both your offense and your defense. But really, if you're Holy Name, you got to set up the offense here. You really hope that you can go up at halftime, at least being up 1.
Everything is on the line today. One team advances to play Walsh Jesuit across the street from CVCA in round number 2. The other one gets ready for next season. 1:11 remaining. We will step aside for 15 seconds and be back on for the remainder of the first half. Final minute 11 of the first half about to get underway. Holy Name using a timeout. What do you think the game plan is here for the Green Wave? They have scored the last 3 goals of this game, but still a lot of time left on the clock, not only in this frame, but also the entire second half.
Well, I was talking about it kind of before the break. They need to come out of here with a goal. I think the key is to really find their spacing and find the open man. They really haven't had one goal scorer. I mean, Xavier Rodriguez has scored 2, but other than that, multiple scorers.
Officially the final minute of this first half. Both teams have 6 goals. Back to E-Step at the 30 for the green and white. Holy Name most likely going to play this similar to how they played the CVCA final minutes. Slow, methodical offense. Shoot when you know Padua does not have a chance to get a playoff of their own, or unless you get a perfect chance. 35 seconds remaining. Holy Name just passing it around. We did hear Coach Fedor talking about that CVCA game earlier today, and they have definitely learned from that game. Rodriguez, the give and go, he will score for the first time today. Holy Name is on top.
I mean, that is exactly what I was talking about with finding the space. Just like you said, the give, and he gives it off and then gets it right back. Nice open shot as he found space in the crease, which is exactly where you want if you're Holy Name's offense.
Holy Name trailed big early in this game. They trailed by as many as 3. A large mountain to climb in the playoffs. But right now, as things stand, they lead 7-6, 22 seconds away from halftime.
Possibly a chance for another one here for either team.
Padua needs it more, but Anko will win the faceoff. Here come the Namers. Rodriguez just overshot by Anko.
They're going to have to work quickly here.
Final 10 seconds of the first half. It's Anko cutting down low. The chance, he shoots, but saved by Hicks. Gasparo shovels it back to Jackson. He will clear the defensive area, and that will do it for the first half at Searcy Field. Holy Name trailed for all but 30 seconds of the first half. At the break, they lead Padua 7-6 your score.
I mean, wow. Just like you said, down 3. To now leading at halftime. You got to feel good if you're Holy Name, but you cannot take your foot off the gas. You got to keep going. I wonder what they're going to talk about in the locker room, but they're pretty fired up as they run past us to go into the locker room.
And you can imagine they are going to be a rowdy group. And you see Peter Rose coming off of the field for halftime. You have to wonder what is going through his mind and what could be his final game as a Namer. At a minimum, the final game on this field in a very much storied career.
Yeah, I mean, he has just been electric so far in his career, and today already let up 6, but he's doing his absolute best with the help of his defense to try and limit that number as much as they possibly can.
Halftime at Holy Name High School, the Green Wave lead Padua 7-6. This is OHSAA Playoff Lacrosse on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. And wow, before we go to break, what a roar in the locker room. Welcome back to Searcy Field. Holy Name up 7-6 at halftime on the Padua Franciscan Bruins. Cam, an intriguing first 24 minutes of play. Holy Name trailed for the majority of it, but in the end, they took their first lead of the game, and that is where we find ourselves at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, Padua, especially Trey Gasparo, really got their offense started. Already four goals in this game. They led 4-2 after the first, and it was kind of shaping up. Holy Name really didn't start off well, but in the second quarter really came back, as you said, now leading 7-6, and only found that lead very, very late. But actually four unanswered goals now, and they're looking to ride that momentum off into play as we start the second half shortly.
Rodriguez has a hat trick. Butler has one. Anko has one. Hedgie has one. And Jeff Bird also has a goal for the Green Wave. As for Padua Franciscan, it is Trey Gasparo who has 4. Sean Kenny has 1. And Anthony Fitro also has 1. Outside of Gasparo and those two, who else needs to step up for the Bruins if they are to win?
I think especially we got to see a lot from Fitro. I mean, just the one goal so far, but a lot of opportunities from him, especially usually being on that opposite side of Gasparo. Usually we see him kind of draw the defense out to him and then he able to pass it into Gasparo. A little bit hard to see as he only scored kind of on the far side, so we'll look, especially as he's pretty much right in front of us this half, or at least this quarter.
But looking at the rest of this game, it is going to be a big finish. The winner will go to Walsh Jesuit at the end of the week. The face-off is set up, and we are underway, but you guessed it, we have an illegal procedure, and that will give the Bruins the opening possession offensively of this second half.
Good start here if you're the Bruins.
The question is, how do they come out after allowing the last 4 goals to strike? First shot of the new half will go wide from Kenny. Possession stays with Padua. I think we are going to see them be more intentional with their passes, take more time, unless they have a perfect opportunity to strike. Then, of course, they will take it. Gasparo spinning away from Butler behind the goal. Trey cutting back top, and he will finally play it way back. Kenny gets it down low. It is Fitro. A good pass back to Adams. Colton going far side for the Bruins. Now behind the goal, picking up number 33, AJ Post. Fitro on the near wing. Played back top, and as expected, the methodical offense of Padua showing their colors early on in the second half. But it's a beautiful cut denied by Peter Rose.
Wow, I mean, he just went and met the defender. Looks like might be injured, though.
That was AJ Post getting a massive hit from Peter Rose. Unfortunate collision. We will step aside. 10:59 on the clock in the third. Holy Name up 7-6 on Padua. The injured Bruin, AJ Post, able to get off of the field pretty much on his own power. More of a shock hit than anything. It hurts a lot more at first, usually in situations like that, and that appeared to be the case. Glad to see he is okay, and we hope to see him down the stretch in this one, as Padua will need every single body they can have on the field. Already this year, they have lost Gino Boscarella and Jack Obrist to season-ending injuries. That is not at all what they wanted heading into this year. With those two on the field, this could be a different game. But either way, Padua, as they have all season, playing with the cards they have been dealt.
Yeah, and they've been pretty good so far today, but their defense really needs to make a big stand here.
They need to turn their defense into offense. Anko cutting right, has some space. He will shoot, and denied by Hicks at the end.
Great save there by Hicks. And they're going to retain possession here.
That's the defense part of it. Can it turn into offense? Good pass up the field. The Bruins ready to strike. It is Gasparo speeding it up the pitch. Trey near side for Fitro. Fitro going to take his time on the near side. Has some space. He will shoot. Airmailed over the goal. Out of play. Possession Padua. I like that aggression from Fitro. He didn't have a bad angle by any means. Just try and squeak it in. Unable to do so. But with Padua keeping possession, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly, especially because there is no shot clock in high school.
Kenny driving, playing it down low, denied by Ritz. Loose ball picked up by Margosian. Great defense by the Namers, but it is played right back to the Bruins. Rose, a tremendous save, bounced in, another save from Peter Rose. Somehow it didn't go in.
But Padua still retains possession after great 2 saves there by Peter Rose. Gonna probably need to make another one.
And it goes just past, but Peter Rose fired up for the Namers.
He was on the ground and still made it.
Everything that needed to go right after everything went wrong went right for the Namers. Kenny down low trying to tie. He is clobbered. No flag quite yet, but we will have it be called a simple foul on the Namers. But what a job by Peter Rose. Even though he has pretty much shown us everything he possibly can in his Namer career, somehow in some way, every couple of games, he gets a sequence like that that continues to show why he is one of the best ever goalkeepers in OHSAA history.
Absolutely, just continues to amaze us, and he's gonna need it the rest of this game.
Play to the wing for Fitro, back top. Kenny picking up Adams. The Bruins circling still. It's Gasparo trying to get down low. Beats Butler, shoots and scores! Mambo number 5 for Trey Gasparo. We are tied at 7.
Yeah, just a great goal. After multiple shots on goal, Padua finally able to get that one to go. Is the replay finally working?
But what a beautiful job by the Padua Bruins. Trey Gasparo, he has been potent all afternoon. That time he finally sneaks it past Rose. 5th time today he has scored 7-all. And all of a sudden momentum hangs in the balance once again. Still a lot of lacrosse left to be played in this one with 8:37 on the clock in quarter number 3. Butler fighting for the loose ground ball after the faceoff. Finally, it will be scooped up by Tomianko. Possession, holy name, and here comes their offense trying to take back their lead. Rodriguez gets the low ball. Ground ball follows, picked up by Miller, and he gets laid out by Rodriguez, but a flag will fly. For the first time today, the tensions really do flare up at Searcy Field.
Yeah, I mean, a big hit there as we're going to watch it back in the replay, but that's going to cause Holy Name to be a man down.
And I believe a timeout was called on the back of it. And speaking of back, that's exactly where Rodriguez hit the Bruin. If that was a front hit, then that's clean. But because it's in the back, you can't do that. That removes Rodriguez from the game. The first time he will be in the penalty box. We've seen him get dangerously close from being ejected from games in the past just by racking up too much time in the penalty area. And that game last year was the Lakewood one, a very cloudy afternoon that somehow in some way the Namers pulled out a win. Kind of similar to this, they trailed for the majority of the game, but when push came to shove, they got the job done. But Padua a chance to retake the lead, but as we said, plenty of time left to play.
Yeah, still 8 minutes here in this quarter and still have the 4th. I don't know what's happening.
Either way, this has been playoff lacrosse at its finest. This is what we wanted to see coming in. We wanted to see the intrigue, the physicality, the sheer talent on display, and we have seen all of it and then some.
Are they saying it's Holy Name's ball?
No clear decision has been given.
Looks like Tomianko's going for the ball.
And it's on both sides, so it kind of cancels out. That's what the applause was for. But now that player goes out of the area. I think that was Miller who was in there momentarily. But it will be possession, Holy Name. That is a big decision from this officiating crew who, for the most part today, has had a very good afternoon. Anko plays it behind the goal. No Rodriguez on the field for the Namers. Can they find somebody else to step up offensively? It's Hedgie in the X position. Good defense, good pressure by Angelone. Still with Phoenix taking his time behind the goal. This could be drill X's time in the box and then bring him in to score.
I assume that's probably what they're trying to do.
We have seen them do it before, but at the same time, in a game like this, if an opportunity presents itself, you have to take it. E-step behind the goal, picks up Hedgie. It is out of play on a low pass. Possession Padua.
Bad turnover there. And Rodriguez still in the box.
Sort of a communication breakdown between KC and Phoenix. But here come the Bruins. 7-all your score and everything to play for. Boomsma taking it to the 30. He could get an assist here. He gets the pass, played down low, and it will go wide. A good amount of movement by Bram Boomsma. But in the meantime, Peter Rowe sparks the offense. A great pass up the field, one-on-one. Hedgie unable to pick it up. And Jackson Hicks will play out of his own goal. It's a loose ground ball. Jackson finally gets it back. He is still zipping up the sideline. He is stripped by Ramsey. It's out of play. Possession, Holy Name.
And Rodriguez comes out of the box now.
Hicks just tried to create an offensive possession that would lead to something. But in the end, Holy Name will take it back. This is their time to shine. E-step going left to right. Can Holy Name take the lead back? First, a whistle will blow, and it is possession Padua. A tough break there for the Namer offense. Bram Boomsma running for his life, and there is the timeout called after Padua took back possession. I think we looked for it, but once they had the ball, that was always going to be the case. They wanted time to talk things over and reset, as they have kind of been a team with momentum this half, but either way, they have had a couple of big miscues.
Yeah, a couple of big miscues, especially I don't even know if they called that a penalty or if it was just a penalty on Rodriguez, but Holy Name able to survive that scare. Only one goal as opposed to the 13 we saw in the first half. One goal through almost 6 minutes here.
What do you think is being said in their huddle?
For Padua, I think they're really trying to calm the defense down. They're giving their defense a break, but they need another goal here. They need to work through Trey Gasparo. Really, he has been their whole offense. And on the other side for Holy Name, I think you got to try and neutralize Trey Gasparo, and you got to be able to set up your offense now with Xavier back from the box. And you're really looking to regain the lead here, really, if you're either team.
And right now, we could have a delay in this game.
I thought I heard it too.
Two officials are going over to that far side, and I think
They
that
are.
is going to be the call. We are now in a weather delay, potentially. We still have everybody on the field, so maybe not. I think they're going to play through it, which I think right now their best chance of getting this game in is playing through this.
I would agree. So we look to the radar, probably rain isn't till later. Looks like we're getting some fist pumps, and they will head back to the locker room.
And we will see how long this break is going to be. It should be 15 minutes after the first sign of thunder. And we will see how this break affects both teams, as we are tied.
Yeah, still a very, very close game here, but I don't know. Definitely could have an effect on both sides.
For the meantime, we will keep it here as the players are coming off of the field, but it'll be interesting, as we said, to see how does this work out for both teams. Which team needs this break better?
I think both of them do. It really gives a chance for both sides to kind of, it's almost like a second halftime almost. I mean, it gives a chance to both teams to recatch their breath and kind of reformulate a plan on what to do.
We do have 30 minutes on the clock. We are going to wait that out. So that puts us at, I believe, 7:43. So we will see how this is going to go. If we do resume play tonight at all, if we do, it's going to have to be at 7:43 due to the lights. Give this till 8:30. Otherwise, we're going to have to pick it up another time. Really tough there. We will step aside for the time being. Once we have updates, we will be back on the air. 7-all your score in the third quarter. This is round one of the OHSAA Boys Lacrosse Playoffs on SmeeSports. Update here from Searcy Field. That is the time that it will take for us to get back to the action. As of right now, knock on wood, we still have the intent of finishing this game. If that intent does change for whatever reason, we will update you as soon as we know. We're just seeing if one little blimp of bad weather will hit us or not. If it hits, then you could probably say, see you next time. If it doesn't hit, then hopefully we will be back underway by around 7:45 p.m. We apologize. This was not obviously the plan heading in to have a weather delay, especially on my day off, no less. But we hope to be back to the action very soon. This is OHSAA Lacrosse on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. We will hopefully see you in around 20 minutes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are still alive here at Cicerci Field. We are a few minutes away from having both teams taking a 3-minute warm-up period. Once that is done, we will be back underway. Expect us to be back to the game by 7:50 p.m. Stay tuned. In around 3 minutes, we will be back on to give a brief overview of the game so far and what we expect to see down the stretch. Well, Cam, in the words of a very famous movie from the 80s, Wayne's World, party on, Wayne. We're playing. Somehow, in some way, we are back to Cicerci Field. 7-7 your score. And Cam, just what are your thoughts on this break? I mean, it was really obscure, first off. We are currently being split by 2 different pods of storm. The question is, can we finish this game? Which, in talking to people, we have about an hour of real time to get the rest of this ball game done.
Yeah, and we were talking probably about half an hour, maybe a little bit more still left of game time. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember how much longer we had in the third, and then plus we still had the whole fourth.
We still have a lot of game left to play. I think if we play no more interruptions, we will get out of here and we will have a winner. As well, there is the 80% rule, at least in regular season. Game 80% done, and you do have someone on top. That will be your winner, but I feel like both coaches would have to agree to it. And just given this rivalry, that is not going to happen.
Yeah, unless it gets severely out of hand, which, like you just said, I don't see happening.
I think heading in, my thought was going to be, okay, overtime. That was initially my thought heading into this game, as we saw it 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and we've seen it very close the last couple of years. I still feel like we could, but if there is overtime, I feel like it would be played tomorrow.
Most likely, as this place does not have lights, so That's also going to be a factor kind of as daylight, and then, like you said, two storms around us. We're kind of right in the middle, so any other interruption will most likely push this game to tomorrow.
Because as of right now, we should be in the middle of the fourth quarter. By all means, we really should be. But in the end, we're 30 seconds away from getting regrouped and ready to go for hopefully at least the end of the third quarter. That's at a minimum what we have to see today. And as well, for those at home wondering, would we cover the next part of this if it is tomorrow? The answer is no. We do have Holy Name Baseball against Chardon. However, if for whatever reason that game were to be canceled and the conditions are satisfactory enough to have us out here, we would come up. It would not be the same link. It would be a new link labeled Part 2, and we would be back here pending on when it starts. A lot of question marks, but we will have eyes over here regardless, and we will have some score updates. Officially 6:37 on the clock for quarter number 3. But for those just tuning in, Padua held a 3-goal lead for the most part in that first quarter, and then at the end of the first half, Holy Name was able to catch fire, and they were able to score a whole host of goals. But Cam, Padua has scored the last goal, so you really could argue they have the momentum.
Yeah, you could argue they have the momentum, but both teams just sat for half an hour. I mean, just a quick little 2-minute-ish warm-up. Now it's almost kind of like the start of the game again. I mean, you're sitting for that long, and you got to come back out rejuvenated. And, I mean, it's kind of like the start of the game as well. It's pretty much knotted up all 0-0. I mean, that's what you got to tell your guys going into it, even though it's 7-7.
On your screen, you see Peter Rose. What has to be going through his mind right now?
He has just got to do really what we saw him do in most of the second and a little bit of the third, as much as the third as we've seen, but really hunkering down. Let up 4 in the first, not off to a great start, but since then has really settled down, and his defense around him has played pretty well in their route back into this game. But like you said, they've given up the last goal. Need to not give up one here as Padua starts with the ball.
And for the first time since 7:13, we have Lacrosse on Searcy Field. The break is finally over. Hopefully this will see out the rest of today. I feel like the fans in attendance have been cut pretty much in half. A lot of fans going home due to the stoppage, so we will see how that impacts the rest of today's ball game. Padua circling, looking for their second goal of this elongated second half. Near side, it's Kenny at the 30. Now Fitro at the 20 for Padua. 6 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Far side, loose ball scooped up. It is Casey Estep with possession for the Namers. Here comes HN's offense. A good, strong pass up the field to Noah Wallace. Loose ball, and Padua will scoop it up. Whistle blows before that.
I think they just signaled Holy Name ball.
And it is the Namer faithful who have stayed. They are enjoying that call. The question is, can they capitalize and take back their lead? It is Anko trying to get close. Tommy just outside the center circle for the green and white. Padua defending him closely. Tommy cutting now left side, trying to pass it off, it appears. And in the end, he will play it top. Casey Estep with the ball for HN. Estep right side cutting, plays it down low, but the pass just escapes Hedgie, and it is possession Padua.
Good defensive stops by both sides. As what we've seen, they need to turn it up here. If you're Padua's offense, first you got to get the good clear, and then you can set up your offense.
I'm pretty sure we saw an issue with that connection earlier on in the game where Estep was just unable to combine with Hedgie. It'll be interesting to see if they can work that out down the stretch or at a minimum tomorrow at practice if their season continues. If not, it's a moot point heading into next season. Possession Holy Name once again as they do a good job of jarring the ball off of a Bruin. 4:40 remaining in quarter number 3. Holy Name 7, Padua 7. Well, this has been an exciting affair, albeit the break puts a damper on the game. Still, this is what we wanted to see, an exciting, intriguing affair. Anko to direct traffic for the green and white on the far side. Anko, a beautiful cut down low via the spin, plays it to the X, Hedgie. Hedgie now circling around, finding an outlet, one-on-one, it's Noah Wallace, and the freshman restores the Namer lead.
Great find there by Hedgie. We were talking about it during the break. I mean, kind of taking a step back from the scoring, but really the passing is what he's been known for. You see as he goes behind the cage there, able to get a nice pass off there to Wallace, and he just dunks it home.
Noah Wallace scored last week at Padua Stadium, and that is his first career playoff goal, maybe the biggest goal of his career. Holy Name back on top by 1. What a swing.
Still a lot of time here left in this game. 4:19 in this quarter and 12 more minutes in the fourth.
This is going to be a crucial face-off as Padua will take it. Good resilience in the center circle by Braden Miller. The Bruins looking for an instant response. You would think Gasparo is their best opportunity to find one, as so far, 5 out of Padua's 7 goals belong to him.
He's looking to get open here.
Fitro, a good pseudo pick, plays it back for Kenny. Kenny spinning left, dishes now over to that same side. Adams down low, pass too hard, intended for post. Possession, Holy Name.
A good job there by Holy Name's defense, really stepping up big, forcing the errant pass, but they need a good clear here.
Margosian will play it to Rose, and Rose will take it out of the back for the green and white.
We've seen them had a couple issues today with the clearance. Peter's just going to chuck it long.
Definitely the right call there. Rodriguez springing into action. Almost had it. And possession goes to Gasparo and the Bruins. A tough break there for the Namer offense. It looked like they could have been off to the races. Good pass in stride. Here comes Padua. It's Gasparo, that is number 8, Johnson. Johnson gets decked. Ramsey has it for the green and white. He gets side-checked. It's all clean. Here's the brute physicality we expected. And finally the ground ball goes to Gasparo as the whistle will blow.
I think I saw a chop down to the stick, so probably that's why the foul was called. Looks like it's going to stay with the Bruins here.
Lucky not to be a true slash. That would have been a big, big turning point for the Bruins. It's Kenny down low. Fitro to tie. Blocked by Rose. An excellent stop. Still loose in the crease. And Peter finally has it.
No, they're going to call, I think, maybe an offensive crease violation.
Either way, possession Padua, as you saw Rose just kind of flick it right at the chest of post. No love lost between these two teams. 2:35 on the clock in quarter number 3. Padua looking to tie up the game at 8. It is Gasparo. A good spin on the far side, still trying to break through, still with Trey. Plenty of resilience, and he will hit it off the side netting. So close, but yet so far from an equalizer.
I thought he had it.
Fitro plays it. It's a one-on-one chance, quickly closed down, and running for his life, post. Gets rid of it, gets it back finally, and the Bruins will try again. It's Fitro, Ritz the defense for Holy Name. 2 minutes on the clock in quarter number 3. Can Padua strike again? Post, plays it out back. It's Adams. Top for Johnson. Johnson loses it, picks it back up. Good resilience. The shot pings off the post. Denied by the Orange and scooped up by Adams. Possession still with Padua, but they were oh so close to goal number 8. It's Gasparo, far side for the Bruins. Plenty of pressure applied by Butler. Can Gasparo break free? He can. Down low, a beautiful pass to Adams. Now behind the goal, post bobbles. It's on the back netting, and Peter Rose finally puts an end to Padua's possession.
But they need a good clear here. I've talked about it all day. They've had troubles. Need to be able to get it across.
Fitro the defense. Rose gets it back. It's just give and go up the field. Holy Name needs to move more vertical than horizontal, and that's why a loose ball goes to Arco and the Bruins. Fitro paces by. Here comes Padua. Full head of steam in the final minute of the 3rd. Can Fitro break through? Dish top. Now with Turner. This could be it for today, depending on the weather as well. Padua looking to tie it up. Fitro bobbles, picks it back up, and dished back. Padua taking their time, spacing around the crease. 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. Johnson plays it behind the goal. It is post. post. A high pass back out wide. Now top for Kenny. Kenny cutting right, shoots, saved by Rose. Still a clear threat. Ground ball, both sides fighting for it, and it will stay loose. Johnson goes for it. Margosian has it. Here come the Green Wave as they will just chuck it out of play.
Called a timeout before, though.
Beautiful job by Coach Fedor with that timeout.
Yeah, I mean, big ground ball there. We almost saw Wallace pick it up, and then Margosian, or that wasn't Margosian. Oh, that might be. This might be all we see today.
We will see, though, depending on the storm patterns, if this is your best chance to get it in.
I think I know they're not really allowed to, though. That's the thing. Oh, I did just see lightning.
We'll see the decision that is made. Right now it would be 8:26. But there's also a chance that it could be other noise. You never know for sure. Like, we thought we saw or heard at least thunder during the break, but it was just loudness around Sasurgi Field. And I feel like now every single noise that we hear, we're going to think it's thunder, when I just heard the kind of the same noise we've been hearing, and that sounded more like Russell than anything.
I think it was your dad rolling up the cart.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you never know. It could still be, we're kind of projecting it. I think that's kind of a weird phenomenon that we're going to see of any little thing we're going to say, oh, that might be lightning or that might be thunder, and it's not.
Yeah, I think it's like a pseudo thing because it's in the back of our minds and we're thinking about it. But.
And that is.
Yeah, that was definitely thunder.
No doubt this time. The time with 9 seconds will stop. 7:57 is your time. And I think, depending on how we play this, we will have maybe 20 minutes of daylight after this second stoppage. Both sides just want to get this game over with, and we will see how they go with this time. The fans not very happy, and kind of understandably so. 8-7, Holy Name on top. That's the big difference this time around, as they don't have a tie game on hand. They lead, but as we mentioned, that 80% rule, we're maybe 5 minutes away from it.
Yeah, probably by the looks of it, won't get there.
It is going to be tough, and we will see. I think we're still going to try and finish it later. It could be 8:26. They go back out there. We play 20 more minutes, and if we really hustle, we can get it in, I think. But that would make it no more stops, no more nothing. And it's really weird because you have the sun right there pretty much.
Yeah, but I mean, with the thunder and the lightning, you cannot. I mean, yeah, as what your dad's saying, it's probably done for tonight. I mean,
I would assume so.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be tough.
If you had lights, that's the thing, and that is going to be a kicker then for Holy Name and other schools with no lights in the future of, do you give them a home game or do you tell them you have to move site to lights in a case like this?
I mean, we were talking about it during the break. I mean, why don't we just pack up here and go on over to Padua?
But for now, we are stopped once again. 9 seconds on the clock. Once we get an official designation from the athletic staff and the coaching staff of both sides, we will be back on to make that announcement. But as of right now, I assume that will do it for today. But stay tuned as we will have a final announcement in the coming minutes. The call has been made as of 8:01 p.m. The game has been suspended and will be resumed tomorrow. 9 seconds on the clock in quarter number 3. Holy Name 8, Padua Franciscan 7, your score. The point of difference today, though, Noah Wallace. Let's talk about his goal before we go off the air.
Yeah, I mean, really it's the big difference as after we came out of that first break, I mean, just nothing really for a couple minutes, and then finally the good pass, the good feed in from Phoenix Hedgie, and then Wallace just able to really slam it down home.
But either way, 8-7, the final today, but this game just suspended. It will be back on tomorrow, but we will not unless Holy Name and Chardon baseball, for whatever reason, is canceled. Then we will be back here for the conclusion of this game. To stay up to date on all the games that we are covering, follow SmeeSports on Instagram and SmeeFest 2024 on Twitter. As well, subscribe down below to the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Enable push notifications to be notified when we upload or go live. Trying to hit 3,500 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. So if you are new, go down below and subscribe. It costs nothing and greatly helps out our efforts here at SmeeSports. As this is a game on behalf of Holy Name High School, we do not run ads given it is the playoffs. But once we are back to regular season play, whether it be in high school or in summer ball, if you want to sponsor, contact us at one of those avenues on your screen, and I would love to work out a deal with you to promote the best of your business and your brand. But that will do it from Cicerci Field at the point of suspension. 9 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. Holy Name 8, Padua Franciscan 7, your score. He's been Cam Ragazzo. I am Nathan Smee saying so long from the backyard, but we will see you tomorrow, not here, but at Ron Motto Field as Holy Name takes on Chardon. This has been, in part, OHSAA Playoff Boys Lacrosse on the SmeeSports YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time.